log cabins. Rugged, timeless, and connected to the land. I'm Nate Heim, and I build log cabin homes here in the Northlands of Minnesota. I work with the finest crew around. You betcha. Using century-old techniques, we pour ourselves into each and every cabin, bringing the past into the present. And we're building a gorgeous home high in the mountains of southern Utah. But the elevation for this mountain log home is going to be a real building challenge.
Oh, crap!
No matter what happens, my crew and I are on a mission to build log cabin homes all across this country. I got a call from Darren and Kristen Brimhall. They live in Las Vegas. They want a place to really call their own and get away from it. And it's up in Brian Head, Utah. I'm on my way, 1,500 miles to go see them. The views are just extravagant. I just can't wait to meet up with them, see what their ideas are, and put it on paper. Man, this is a perfect scene for a log cabin. That must be Darren and Kristen right there. Gorgeous. Wow.
This is Brian Head, Utah.
How high are we?
Elevation of Brian Head is 9,800 feet.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's up there.
Hope your guys are able to work at this elevation now.
We'll have to do some training, I think, like we're going to the Olympics or something.
Well, we're excited to get a home built.
Well, I'm very excited to be here. We should take a look at your lot.
Let's do it. This is the view that we want to capture. That's Brian Head Peak. We want to be able to see that from our front room in our cabin.
Gorgeous.
We've wanted a cabin for years. We think a log cabin will last for generations. We've always wanted a nice big party deck, just a nice deck to entertain.
Absolutely. On the walkout side, I would imagine.
But we want a welcoming front porch so people know where the front door is.
Absolutely. I think we could find some real nice character logs, really set it off, so it's grand entrance. It's come walk through here.
One thing I really want in this cabin is just a place where I can put my guitars. And I've got some cool artwork. I just really want to display that and show that off to all of those that are invited to our home.
How many levels are you thinking?
We want it up high enough so we can see as far as we can out there.
It's going to be up there. So I'm thinking, if this was a basement here and the garage doors, maybe you drive in here?
Yeah, drive in here.
And then up here, the grand entry.
That's what we'd love to see.
Okay, so then I'm thinking having like a bump out on the kitchen so you can kind of have your own little nook out there.
Yeah, a little more room, space in the kitchen. That would be good.
This is what I'm thinking. Party deck, right up there, having all those awesome views.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's put it on paper so we can really narrow this thing down for you guys.
Great.
Sounds good.
All right. So, you know, you guys talked about a party deck. I think maybe 12-foot deck off the front would be pretty nice size.
Great.
And then you were talking about a grand entryway. This is where the kitchen's going to end.
Looks good, but what if you were to bring in one of these big logs from outside and incorporate that into the breakfast bar?
I think that's a good idea. I think that's something we can do is maybe extend this log wall through, flatten that thing out, and make that your breakfast bar.
You think you could do that?
I know I can do that. The Brimhall's cabin will be a massive 31 by 48-foot, 3-level home. Above the garage is a huge great room and a master bedroom. The kitchen will feature a customized breakfast table made by cutting off the top of the log that juts in from the outer walls of the structure. The third level will transition to stick framing that surrounds the 2 bedrooms and a loft which overlooks the second level. The Brimhall's party deck will face Brian Head Peak so that Darren and Kristen can entertain their friends with gorgeous views of the mountains all year round. We're gonna get this thing knocked out.
Fantastic.
Let's get back to Minnesota and get this thing started. Guys, I just got back from meeting with Darren, Kristen Brimhall in Brian Head, Utah. It's way up there, and it's like 11,300 feet to the peak.
Whoa!
Yeah, it's high.
We're gonna grab some oxygen tanks on the way out there.
Oxygen tanks might not be a bad idea. Yeah. Not only that, from the bottom of the basement to the peak is 38 feet. Yeah.
Oh, we've never built one that high before.
Coming in at 38 feet, this is the tallest cabin we've ever built. It's going to be a challenge for us, but I know they can do it. Now, a couple key points of this build. There's going to be a 12-foot party deck on it, a double-sided fireplace on there, log posts coming up from the basement all the way to the roof system.
What are those squiggly marks up by the kitchen bar?
He thought it'd be neat to extend this log from the exterior into the inside of the house at about countertop height. We're going to cut it in half, make a breakfast bar out of it.
Sweet. That looks like a huge entryway right there.
He really wants to make it grand, so I reassured him we're going to find some really nice character posts, and this is going to be a great opportunity to make some really nice details with your chainsaw. I need you to throw sawdust and burn gas.
A day without sawdust is like a day without sunshine.
I just hit the frost line, about 1.5 feet in. Get to shovel through icy dirt.
One of the first things we do when we set up the temporary foundation for the house is we set the first stump. We call that the kingpin. We never move that stump, and we use that to pull all of our measurements and dimensions of the house off of. And then you start squaring stuff up and finding out where all the walls are supposed to be. 30 feet to the outside.
Go back north. We're laying out the temporary foundation, and we want it to be square. And this is a square, and we'll put another string down there, and that'll get us close to the next corner. Okay, drive it in.
Squaring the house at the beginning of the build is very important, because if we don't start with an accurate temporary foundation, the whole building could get off and it could end up looking like the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
We finally got everything square. Now the next thing is to adjust our height.
The temporary foundation is set and square. Now the fun can begin. It's time to start setting and cutting logs. What we're building now at the log yard is actually the second level of the Brimhall cabin.
That way a little bit.
Okay.
The first story will be a basement level, and the third story will be made of traditional stick frame. In 6 weeks, when the cabin shell is complete, the logs will be deconstructed and shipped to Bryan Head, where the cabin will be reassembled. The build is going great. We're ahead of schedule, so I decided to have Matt go check in on Joe and Corey and see how much they've been learning.
All right, this is your guys' log. We're going to have a little competition with rough notching. Corey, you can take that side. Joe, you'll take this side. And whoever wins, I'll buy him an ice cream cone at lunchtime.
Oh, I'm up for that.
I'll take chocolate.
Oh, you already think you won, huh?
I don't think you're going to win, though. If Joe thinks he can get between me and some free ice cream, he's got another thing coming.
Okay, put your scribes up on the wall. 3, 2, 1, go. Cutting a notch in a log takes several steps. First, you got to scribe a rough notch, and that gives you a general idea of your final notch. Three, 2, 1, go. With the rough notches cut, this log will be able to fit over the log underneath it, and then it'll be final scribed and cut for a perfect fit. Joel and Corey don't have enough experience, so today I'm only having them do the rough notch. Now that they've carved out the rough notches, we're going to set the log back down and see who wins. What I'm looking for in a rough notch is it brings everything down to the same level, and then we'll be able to final scribe it and cut it out for a perfect fit.
Mine's perfect. I don't know about your side.
Hey, how'd you kids do? I'm right on. Good job bringing it down to the height we want. We can always take it a little bit deeper into this area to get the scribe in there. Now we're going to have to do some extra cutting, but let's go down and take a look at Corey's here. Yeah, we could have actually taken that a little bit deeper too, but it's better to be safe than sorry and not take too much, because then
Can't put it back on.
can't put it back on. All right, you guys did pretty good. Both Corey and Joe did a good job. This is a tough one for me to call, so there's only one thing for me to do here.
Would you look at that?
Plus, they're having a 2-for-1 sale on ice cream at the gas station.
That tastes like I won.
It tastes like it's been in Matt's pocket for a week.
I'm looking for a log that will come out and make a countertop. This one's got a bow in it, right about where I need to cut. And the end's got a lot of character, so it should make a really pretty countertop. This log is going to be perfect for the breakfast bar. I know Matt's going to do a great job making it fit perfect.
I put 110% into every log, but this log is really going to stand out. Well, they're going to be looking at it every morning when they're having breakfast, so it's definitely got to be right on. I guess this log probably weighs about 800 pounds, so it's pretty critical that we have enough support and bracing under it. so that no one gets crushed. This log is all set for now, but once we get further along and the rest of the house is sitting on this log, we'll be able to just cut the top of it off, and we'll have a breakfast table that'll be just one of a kind.
She's a wet one today. Here's what happens when you got to work outside in the elements. You get days like this. Sometimes it's snow, sometimes it's rain.
For scribing, it is tough to work in the rain. The logs get this wet, the ink doesn't want to stick to the logs, and we've got to come up with a solution so that we can stay on schedule. It is slowing us down. It takes about 5 times longer to get a good line. Man, this just sucks.
When they're just soaking wet, it's really hard to get it on there.
It's not working.
We have to push through. We're having to scratch our heads some and figure out what to do. I give up.
For scribing, it is tough to work in the rain. The logs get this wet, the ink doesn't want to stick to the logs, and we've got to come up with a solution so that we can stay on schedule.
I give up.
It was just pouring rain and the ink was not going on the log. We tried wiping it with a rag and that wasn't working. And then we tried sanding it so we could get a good line, but nothing was working. So then Peter had the absolute best idea ever, and that was to go get the blowtorch, which I really love that.
Get it with fire! We use a blowtorch to dry the moisture off the logs to get them dry enough so that our scribes will write. You gotta be careful though, because if you get too close, it could burn the logs.
Does it work? I don't know, we're about to find out. It works very well. I want to be the new blowtorch man every time it rains, and that's all I want to do.
Now that the walls are up, the time has finally come to cut the breakfast bar. I've been saving this particular job for the Chainsaw Master. It'll also be a great learning experience for Corey and Joe.
Get it off there and see what we got.
All right. Oh, wow.
I can see myself eating breakfast off of that.
Cut from two sides and you can't even see where he joined up.
You did her? Yeah.
Matt did an amazing job on this cut. Not many guys can make that perfect cut on the first try. Well, let's leave Corey to it. He's got some sanding to do.
Looks like I know what I'm doing for the next hour.
This sure came together nicely. I think we're in good shape to get it up to Brimhalls. Let's go check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out now.
Guys, great job. It's gorgeous. Darren and Kristen are going to love this. When I was up there, I didn't see anything like this. Matt, awesome job on that breakfast bar. You nailed it.
Hey, thanks. It was a challenge, but we got it.
I don't know about you. I'm ready to get this thing up to Bryan Head, Utah, and go check out that elevation, huh?
Yeah, so am I. But there's no roof on it yet.
Corey, the second floor is going to be stick-built.
Oh, all
whole
right.
second level is. That's why we flatten the top of the logs. So we can put log trusses on top of the stick frame, then the log ridge pole and purlins, and it's going to be magnificent.
See, I need to start looking at the plans maybe more.
Yeah. Corey, the day you look at plans is the day I retire.
Hey, that's might be soon.
Oh, all right. All right, well, let's break this bad boy down. Trucks are leaving soon. We stack the logs on the truck in order, so when we get to Bryan Head, we can pull them off and rebuild the shell in the correct order. It can be a bit tedious, but after doing this 100 times, I can do it in my sleep. Last log, boys! Made it. Brian Head, Utah is one of the most beautiful places in the country. We're up here at 9,800 feet above sea level, where the air is really thin for us Minnesota boys. That's gonna make this build extra challenging. Oh boy, my ears just popped. I'm meeting my dad and Grizzly Bob on the build site so we can get a game plan together for the Brimhall's cabin. Oh, I feel that elevation. Morning, guys.
Hey, Nate.
Bob, how does the foundation look?
Hey, everything is nice and square. The general contractor did a good job. It meets my specs, and I think it's ready to go. The only thing is the elevation here is kind of slowed down a little bit.
I feel it already. 11,000 feet up there.
Is that ski resort up there?
Absolutely.
One of the things we have to deal with here is the uneven ground. It's almost all 18% grade. We don't have a lot of flat space here, so we'll just have to make sure our logs are laying correctly so they don't have runaways.
The slope is so steep here, we got the crane jacked up on risers just so we're able to work. Our next challenge is going to be getting the logs to the build site, and then we're ready to go. Just came from the hill. It's a pretty good incline. There's some loose gravel. So what's your thoughts?
Ever seen a truck drag race?
Yeah.
Find out.
Yeah? Full load, huh?
Yeah.
Chad's truck is loaded down with 40 tons of logs, and that hill is steep. If he can't make it up that hill, we got a big problem.
We're going to see what happens.
All right, well, I'll give you the green light. We'll let it rip, huh?
Sounds like a
All right, Chad.
Okay, we got to be careful. Got to be safe. Here he comes. He got her the first time. Pretty steep angle. You can tell by the way we're standing, parking on a mountainside.
All right, boys, let's get these straps done and the logs on the walls. Here we go. It's time to unload these logs. Whenever you're starting a new build, it's always important to get off on the right foot. This is some railing spindles. We're gonna load it off, and then the fun starts. Here we go.
Now don't stand underneath that. I don't trust those ratchet straps.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to clear. You got to go up higher yet, Chris.
He's all right. Oh, crap! Well, good thing is it's not in a bad spot.
That wasn't a good way to do that, but nobody got hurt. Let's get better hookups on those logs.
We're lucky nobody got hurt here, but man, I hate getting started on the wrong track like this.
Coming down, guys.
We're making great progress today. We're 3 courses up, and it's time to set that breakfast bar.
It's looking pretty good. Come on down with it.
It's the breakfast bar, yes!
I can picture it right now, sitting at the breakfast bar, taking in the views, some elk moving off in the distance, shooting at him out the kitchen window. Hope I get invited over for a couple breakfasts.
The rain's starting to come down, but in log home construction, we work rain or shine.
That one
over
there,
by Bob.
that's the weak one now.
Uh-oh.
Is something wrong with the crane?
Yeah.
That's not good.
The crane's alarm just went off. That means something's not working right. With these logs over top of our head, we just can't take the chances. We need to stop until we get this resolved.
This is cracked right here. When this wiggles around in here, it's telling the computer to shut the crane down. That's the problem that we're having. This little plastic piece.
It's pouring down rain, and the alarm on the crane is going off. Something isn't right. We can't continue working until we know the crane is safe to use.
What we got on the end of this crane, we got this little part right here. This is broke.
There was some moisture in the sensor on the end of the boom crane, and it was sending signals saying that there was a malfunction, so we couldn't operate the crane.
We need to get a replacement part. There's really no way to cover that.
It's kind of a bummer because it pushes us behind big time.
It is.
One of the local builders is going to head down into town and get the part that we need. We're going to lose some time today, but safety always comes first.
It's going to shut us down for a while today, I'm afraid.
The part we need just got to the build site. If we can get the crane working, we might be able to salvage part of the day. Try it.
Yeah.
It's working. All right, boys. Yeah, the crane's found a new master, Peter. Everything works now. I sat down in the throne, throttled up, gave Chris the reins, and we're ready to go. That end goes over there, so you'll have to get the guide rope to somebody in there. There we go.
This is the first panel we're dropping into place. It's right on. The upper level of this particular house has got stick frame all the way around. We have pre-built wall sections. We're lifting them up with the crane, putting them into place. Everything has to be leveled. We have to modify some of these, cutting in for the ridge lines, but everything's coming together real good.
We got to get these trusses built. We're going to have to grab our tools. Let's get it together. Let's be safe. And let's get these ready to go up on the walls. Each log on these trusses weighs hundreds of pounds, making the total weight almost 4,000 pounds. It's going to be tricky fitting them up there with our stick framing. Our calculations have to be spot on.
We're ready. Way to go! Let's bring her up!
£3,500 worth of truss. Mean truss right here. Man, I hope this fits.
I think we're pretty close right there.
Because the third story of this house is stick frame, the measurements on our log trusses have to be exact or it won't fit. There are a million different ways it could go wrong.
Nice and easy. Nice and easy.
It looks tight, I don't know. Oh, there we go.
Woohoo, beautiful.
Yes.
Perfect the first time.
Kristen and Darren told me they wanted to come and see the progress on their cabin. I'm always excited to show my work to the clients, so I told them to come on over. So what do you guys think?
It's incredible. We could see it from the road. We were like, that's not our place. That is not our place. But it stands out so much. It is just, it's beautiful.
The cabin is awesome. It towers to the tops of the trees.
I loved the logs outside the front entryway.
What those beauty marks are made from is porcupines actually chewing on the bark and then the tree trying to heal itself. In order for that mark to be made, it takes about 30 years.
Wow.
Well, there's so much more to see. Come on, let's go inside. We set these trusses today. They're 3,500 pounds, remember? And this is going to be your main support of your roof system.
These are incredible.
Isn't that, it just gives a
amazing.
crazy amount of dimension.
Yes, it does.
Those logs are massive.
So you guys come out to here, and this is the party deck.
Oh,
Wow.
This is neat.
It was great showing Darren and Kristen the progress on their home. The looks on their faces really put me at ease because a business like this is nonstop. With everything going so well, the guys are going to keep working here in Utah while I head out and try to save a cabin in danger. Bob and I are on our way to Michigan where a cabin was seriously damaged in a storm. The homeowners were told that it was impossible to fix, so it's up to us to save it. One must be the cabin right there. Huh?
Yeah, look at it.
Oh, look at the outhouse.
Oh, geez, yeah.
The log must have went right across the top of it. Wow.
Look at that front porch, how angled that is.
Jeez. I'm surprised that porch is still on there. Look at it, you can about crawl underneath that root system. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's huge.
Man, am I glad to see you. My name is Bo Phillips. My wife Lori and I own property in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan with a wonderful cabin on a lake that got taken apart by a big storm.
Well, what happened?
Well, as far as we can tell, some sheer wind, like a microblast, just came in here, took 300-foot trees and just leveled them.
Wow.
And the root ball was so huge and it was built underneath the cabin that it just acted like a crowbar and lifted the cabin off the ground.
Here, it looks like there's quite a bit of damage on the inside. I see some roots poking right up through the floor.
Boards. Man, I've never seen anything like this before. Can't believe this whole cabin didn't crumble to pieces.
This cabin means a lot to us. I mean, whenever we would come up here, our kids would stay in here. We had campfires out here every evening and watch the stars. In fact, I proposed to my wife right there. So if you could bring this back, that would mean the world to us.
Yeah, we'll bring it back in the family. We'll assess the situation, we'll get our tools in line, and we'll get this taken care of for you.
Awesome.
On a situation like this, we could just push it down in a pile and start over. But this cabin has so much meaning to Bo and his family that we have to fix this. I think what we got to do is get underneath here and find out if these two root systems are attached.
We got to figure out a spot to cut it apart.
Well, there's only room for one person in there. I'm not going in.
I don't want to go under there either.
Paper, rock, scissors for it.
How about man, bear, gun?
What's that?
Well, man is man.
Yeah.
Bear is bear. And this is gun.
Okay.
You know, so the gun takes the bear, and the bear can take a man.
In Minnesota, we usually play paper, rock, scissors. But Bob and his Michigan ways, I guess it's man, bear, gun.
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Gun.
Well,
gun takes bear.
Well, I thought you'd be the bear.
Looks like you're crawling under the hole, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, tight. Oh, gosh. What's under there?
We got two large root systems connected together. This is not going to be as easy as we thought. I like this. In order to save this cabin, we have to raise up the entire structure and rest it on temporary supports so we can get underneath and remove the root system below. We've cut out the smaller roots all around the center of this tangled mess. We're hoping this larger root just pulls right out of there. Bob's got to be careful in that bulldozer. If he pushes that cabin up at too steep of an angle, he could snap it in half. As Bob's pushing the root out from under the house, it catches on the plow and starts pushing the entire frame up. We have to be careful with this house. It's old, fragile, and has a long history with Bo. The whole porch is flexing. If we keep doing that, we're going to lose the whole porch. So
I guess we're going to try to split this right in here then, huh?
Yeah, we're either going to have to split it or keep cutting the root system back. We got to change the game plan up and do a little more surgery on this massive root.
I felt that move that time.
So did I. The stump is free, but it doesn't want to come all the way out of there. We tried pushing it, now we're going to try pulling it. Well, I guess we'll have to get a bigger chain. Finally, we got this thing broken free. Now we just got to haul it out of here with a tractor and get the foundation back level.
Okay, what I'm doing right here is I'm making a little pad to bring this log back down.
It means so much to be able to fix this little cabin for Bo. It's close to him, it's close to his family, and you can already see that little cabin come back to life. Oh, look at that.
Boy, I think it's going to clear.
Yeah. Hey, Bo.
Wow!
You're at the right time.
Man, they said it couldn't be done.
I know
it. Wow, awesome, man.
Yeah, all back in order. Check it out.
I can't believe it, man. It looks just like it did before. It's incredible.
What it looked like before is unbelievable. Now you can put a good solid foundation underneath it. It'll last you for another 100 years.
That's excellent. I can't thank you enough. That's really incredible. When we saw this cabin lifted in the air and torqued and twisted, we thought it was done. We were told it would never be repaired. To have it back to the way it was and on level ground is just a miracle.
Working at these high elevations in Utah, we woke up this morning to several inches of snow on the ground, but now it's time to get inside and finish up that interior. Today we're putting railing up in the great room. It's made of white cedar, and it's really special to us because every joint is handcrafted. The biggest concern you have when you're putting railing up is that it has to be very stable. Where there's little kids pushing on that railing, we got to make sure it's anchored. We're working on the party deck railing. We got to get this middle section in and then work our way over from there. We're pushing the last section of railing in up on the loft, and we thought we had a good handle on it, but the post wasn't anchored very well. You got to make sure nobody's going to push on that railing and it's going to give out. Remember, safety's first. We got to make sure those are anchored. We're trying to figure out what's the best way to anchor the bottom.
I know. It's not exactly solid behind there at the moment.
Well, we just got started putting railing in up on the loft, and we realized that we have nothing to anchor it to. There's only 1/2-inch OSB plywood, and that's not stable enough to hold up this 24-foot railing section.
Behind it.
Try to cut a hole in here and get a piece in there.
Like a header.
Uh-huh.
Will that be enough?
Well, we just got started putting railing in up on the loft, and we realized that we had nothing to anchor to. We had 1/2 inch of OSB plywood, and that's not stable enough to hold up this 24-foot railing section. Could put a little angle from here down to there. Getting a board in behind there. You know, if you cut a hole in here,
behind it.
Try to cut a hole in here and then get a piece in there.
Like a header.
Uh-huh. 1/2-inch plywood is not enough material to anchor our post to. There's not going to be enough support. Somebody could push on that railing and would fall right over. It's leaning.
We want
and that sucks is it's leaning that way, you know. So, like, if it was leaning the other way, we could screw it from the face this way, bring it in. Biggest thing is we could put the 2x on the backside here, but it still can flex on here. But I think we should cut a hole and put a, 9.5-inch 2x behind there. Yeah. I talked to Matt and I talked to one of our contractors that we're using here in Utah, and we came up with a solution. We're going to cut a hole in the face of the OSB, and we're going to get some 2-inch lumber for a good backer so we have the support we need for the post. I think that'll work, huh?
I think so.
Oh, that's solid. Look at that, Matt. That was a ticket. All right. That's it right there, Matt. Now we're off and running. With the fix on the loft railing done, we're in the home stretch. Just a few finishing touches and we'll be done with the construction on the interior. We're in the last-minute push. We're working on the Brimhall staircase, trying to knock out this log railing. It's kind of tricky. We got the 2 posts in up the top, but this one right here is right up against this log, so it gives us little room to work. We're going to bring it straight down, scribe it down, screw it in place, and then we can start putting our rails and spindles up. Sometimes when you get in those tough work areas, there's no other tool that you can use other than a scribe. Trim's in, the drywall's in, getting ready to put a stain and clear coat on. It's fun to finally see it come together. With the interior finished, the Brimhall's cabin is almost done. It just needs one thing. The magic of my rockin' interior decorator, Heather. It looks like you got a truck full of goodies, huh? This is gonna be great. Look at that.
Some pillows just for you.
What is that? Cowhide?
Cowhide.
No kidding.
Let's do it.
I'll start with this, okay?
No.
Let's.
Wait.
Now I feel like I'm on the farm. I got cowhide and milk jugs. All right, let's go.
All right, who's more
For the Brimhall cabin, I went with the music theme that Darren really wanted. I've got these beautiful signed guitars by B.B. King. These belong to Darren. I'm really excited about these showpieces here. This is my favorite piece. This is the showcase piece of all of Darren's collection. This custom case that we ended up making, it looks great. We've got ceilings that are amazing, the height, the views, the windows. We have cozy elements, fur, wood, leather. It's very grand, but it's very cozy. Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's coming together. A lot of sheepskins and cowhides to really warm it up in these mountains. These are awesome. Another cool element we added was up in the loft, which is one of my favorites. It's like the kids' little sanctuary. They can go up there and hang out and read, study, just chill out. I want this bed. It's looking good.
The day is finally here. The Brimhall's cabin is complete, and it's time to go pick them up. I can't wait to show them their new mountaintop getaway.
We're excited, Nate.
Are you?
Yeah, can't wait.
It really all came together with the breakfast bar. And
That kitchen turned out okay, right?
Oh, yeah. We got the bump out on there.
Excited to see how high it is. And that was one of the things we talked about, that this is one of the highest builds you've ever done.
In the highest elevation.
Okay, drive a little faster.
Okay.
I'm excited.
All right, guys, there's your house.
Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh, that is amazing.
Look how tall it is.
It is.
Wow, that's impressive, Nate.
Well, I really hope this cabin fulfills everything that we've dreamed of. A place to bring friends and family together, and a good area for the kids to play and hang out.
We're so excited to see what Nate's got for us.
Well, what do you guys think?
Oh my gosh.
Well, what do you guys think?
Oh
my gosh.
This is awesome. This is incredible. So
This is
amazing.
great.
That's your new log home right there.
Wow. Yeah, that front porch looks fantastic. The character in those logs and the stain really does make it pop out.
I have not seen a log home like this in Bryan Head like at all.
Well, it's all yours.
The first thing that stood out to me is the front entry porch with those cool logs at the very front.
The character of those logs in the entryway is insane.
All right, guys, you got to check out this great room. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Is it tall enough for you?
Oh, it's awesome.
I
love it. Yeah, it is a great
Well,
room.
what's really neat is you actually see the structural support of your roof system.
Yeah.
I mean, these logs they're going to withstand huge amounts of snow. You guys get up here in the mountains of Utah, you know, and it's also give you that gorgeous look, too.
That truss is incredible,
Yeah,
but it's heavy.
It's heavy. That's a heavy boy right there, about 4,000 pounds.
Wow.
You know, that natural lights let in from your windows, also getting the gorgeous views of the mountaintops.
This is cool.
Yeah, yeah. And Darren, I know I've never done one like this before, but you wanted the breakfast bar jutted out.
There it is.
What do you think?
And it looks great. It just comes
is
right
cool.
Yeah.
from outside to inside, and it's part of the house. That breakfast bar is perfect. Just taking a log from outside and making it a part of the inside is incredible.
Well, guys, there's so much more to see. Let's head out this way and check it out.
Okay, great.
Well, you guys wanted a cozy master suite. Check out this.
Wow.
This is beautiful. I love this.
Love the moose head.
Isn't that something? In the low-profile windows, it's enough to let the natural light in, but not too much to take away any privacy. And it doesn't stop here in the master suite. Check out this, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Their own little log truss out here, enjoying the peace and serenity of the mountainside. And check out over here. We got you a snorkel tub.
Wow, that's cool.
It's a real wood-burning hot tub.
That's awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a log home in the mountains is naked without a hot tub.
Or naked without.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I'm glad you guys love it. We're going to move on to Darren's favorite place. It's up in the loft. It's the music room. Let's go. Let's check it out.
One thing I'm really excited about is that hot tub. It's just such a nice surprise. That's going to be a great thing to add to the cabin.
Oh, wow.
What do you think?
That is awesome. Finally a place to hang my guitars and hang some artwork that really just didn't have a place in our own home.
Did B.B. King really play that guitar?
He did. He played it. He signed it for me.
Wow.
So
that's amazing.
It was a humbling, emotional time for me. This is really what I wanted to see in the cabin, and I've always wanted a place for those pieces of art. This is awesome.
Yeah. Well, it's a great area to not only enjoy, you know, your artwork, but also to relax and look at those views.
Well, and I love the spindles in the banister.
Oh, yeah.
That just makes it
Yeah,
really cool.
it does. It just ties into that second level. And again, the log work up here and extends all the way over to the second loft for your kids.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think of that?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
They are going to love that.
And the really cool thing is we never have another one of these massive log trusses here for you. You know, you can really see the character and how massive they are. Really get up close and personal with them.
An impressive engineering feat.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And it extends out to the place where your nights are probably going to end most of the time. Let's go check out that party deck.
Let's check it out.
All right. That super loft is going to be probably the most used room, I think, in the cabin for the kids.
It will be their little domain in the cabin.
They're not going to want to come down.
Okay, guys, are you ready for this?
We are.
Ready, let's see it. All right. I'm excited to see the outdoor fireplace, the logs, and the trusses.
Well, guys, what do you think?
Wow.
Oh, this is great.
This is awesome.
This is beautiful.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Look at the views.
Yeah.
Look at the perfect view of the Brian Head Resort.
Isn't that something?
Awesome.
Now you'll be able to tell what the ski conditions are every day.
That is
Stonework is
incredible.
beautiful, too. That's
Yes, it
nice.
is. I love the exposed log work. It's perfect. It's exactly what we wanted.
We got to bring the beauty out here, too, because we know you're going to have a lot of family and friends over and enjoy this part of the household. So.
This is great.
It's gorgeous. I could just see it filled with our kids and our family being out there and enjoying the outdoors, the nice fireplace.
And the views from the party deck, you can see so much of what we love in southern Utah so well.
So what do you guys think of your house?
I think it's awesome.
Love it.
We're only 2 of our big family, so we want to see the kids and see how they like it.
Well, let's go get them.
All right.
All right.
We want to see our kids grow up here, grandkids grow up here. We want this to be in our family for generations.
Thank you for allowing us to build our first log home in Utah. The salvation was something, but this home is going to stand the test of time.
Well, you and your crew did an awesome job.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely love it.
So cheers to the Brim Halls.
Awesome.
Cheers.